Hello people, this is Code Grind, and in today's video we'll be talking about 10 HTML tags that are very few people know about them and you won't see them used much in any websites. So this video is basically divided into two different parts. In the first part we will cover 6 different tags which are responsible for designing purpose, and in the later part we will have 4 different tags which are responsible for the SEO. That means using those kinds of tags will help your website rank above from any other websites in the search engine results. So let's get straight into it. So the first tag which we will talk about is known as the opt group tag. Now we all know about the select tag. It is a very basic tag which we all use inside our input forms. It works basically something like this. So we can have multiple options inside this select tag, and the display is something like this. So we have got multiple selections. These are the options which we have provided inside the select tag, and you can select any one of these. Now what if you want to divide them into some different headings and subheadings? That means if you want to group any of these options, so for grouping different options we use the opt group tag. The name itself suggests what the purpose serves. So now inside this opt group you can have normal option tags and give them different values. Let's say first subheading, and then another option which will say second subheading. So now you see we have got these two slightly indented towards the right side of this select, and this shows that these two are subheadings, but we need a heading for them. So to provide them with a heading inside the opening tag of this opt group, we just need to provide an attribute named label, and let's say we call it heading. And now when you hit save, you see we have got this heading which has two different subheadings inside it, which are held inside an opt group tag. So this is what the opt group tag serves us with. Now I will comment everything. Now whatever tags I keep on talking about, I will keep on commenting them so that you can go to the description and go to the source code. I will provide a link for the source code and you can copy anything. So if you have any queries, so I won't delete any of this, I will just comment down everything. Now let's move to our second tag. Now the second tag which we will talk about is the data list tag. It is a very important tag, and it can provide you with a very unique feature. Like sometimes you want the user to have a search feature in your input fields. Like if I have an input field with a type is equal to text, you can just type anything inside here, you can type any text, but it won't provide you with the search functionality. So to give it a search feature, what you need to do is we use the data list tag, and inside the data list we can have different options. Let's say if we want the user to search for different browsers, now let's say the first browser will be Chrome, and then we can have different browsers such as Mozilla, and then at last another browser, let's say Safari. So you see these are the three options which we have provided inside this data list tag. Now how to integrate this data list tag with this input? Let's see. We will give it a list attribute and let's call it browsers, and the same value, this browsers value, should be provided inside the data list ID. Oh, let's copy paste this browsers inside the ID, and now we have linked these two tags with each other. And now when I hover over this input field, you see there we have got a drop down arrow, and when I click on it we get these three options which are provided by this option tags. You can also write anything in between these tags, like it is by Google, this one is by Mozilla. Oh sorry, this should be Firefox, not Mozilla. And now the last one is by Apple. Hit save, and now you see these are like small subheadings to the headings. You can also search inside these, like if I type Chrome, it will filter the options inside the data list and show you the best possible result which matches the keywords that you have typed in. So this is what this data list tag is used for. It is a very unique and very helpful feature. You might have not seen it in a lot of websites, but I suggest you should start using it. Now let's move to our third tag. So the third tag is the template tag. It is a very unique tag. This is not a tag which will show any changes in your output, but is very useful in another kind of way. Let's see how we can use it. So now inside this template, whatever I write won't be visible to you in the browser. Let's say I write welcome to CodeGrind, and you see I reload it, but we don't see any text in here. That is because whatever you write inside this template tag is never visible in your browser. But when I come to the inspect element, you see we have this template tag in the inspect element, and inside here also you can't see anything. It's just saying something hash document fragment. But when you go to the source code, so to go for the source code of any particular web page, you can just hit Control plus U for Windows and you will get to the source code. Now in here you see we can see this template. Now what do we use this template tag? Since it is not visible, so what is the purpose of using it? It is because it can provide with some very helpful JavaScript functionalities. You may need some things in JavaScript where you don't want any particular thing to be visible, or you can also use it when sometimes you are not happy with a particular part of your code and you want to hide it for some amount of time. So you can just simply place it inside the template tag and it won't be visible in your website. Now let's move to our fourth tag. So the SUP stands for superscript. It is nothing but it just provides you with a feature where you can use different text as exponents of text. Let's see what I mean. Let's say if you have a company name and you want to show that it is a trademark, so you can do it with this particular thing like CodeGrind TM. But what if you want this TM to be like it is in the power of CodeGrind? Let's say if we use this SUP tag and I place this TM inside this SUP tag and I hit save. So you see what I mean. This TM tag is placed like it is lifted upwards from the base level and it is displayed like this. So this is what superscript means. You might have come across it when you're working in MS Word or any document editing software. You can also use it for writing mathematical equations. Let's say if you want to write x raised to the power 2, you can simply write x outside and 2 inside the SUP tag. And now when I hit save, you see we have got this x raised to the power 2. Now the fifth tag which we will be talking about is the exact opposite of this SUP tag. Now in this tag, instead of SUP, we will have SUB, which stands for subscript. And in this subscript, instead of lifting the text upwards, it just pushes the text downwards, and it just makes it lower from the base level. So this is about the subscript and superscript tag. Now let's move on to our very last tag of the designing part. So the last tag, which is the BDO tag, stands for bidirectional override, and it is used, as the name suggests, bidirectional. It is used when you're working in different languages, like if you want to write some text in Japanese or Arabic which is written from right to left, so you use this tag. Now inside this BDO we have this dir attribute, and in here you can specify the direction from which you want to write the text. Like if I want the text to be written from left to right, then I will have LTR, and you can write any text like welcome to CodeGrind and hit save. Now this is very normal, and it is the default way of writing any text. But what if I change this dir attribute to right to left? Now you see this whole text has started from right and finished in the left side. So this is what this BDO tag is used for. As I already said, you can use it for while you're writing text in different languages. Now this is all about our 6 tags which are related to designing part. Now let's get into the SEO tags. Now SEO stands for search engine optimization. So it is basically a list of some tricks and tips which you can use while writing your HTML so that your website ranks higher up in the search engine results. Now let's see what are some very unique 4 tags which you can use while writing your HTML to improve the SEO of your website so that your website ranks higher. The first tag which we will be talking about is the ABBR tag, which is short form for abbreviation. Now this is nothing but a very simple tag. Inside it you can provide different abbreviations. Let's say if I want an abbreviation for FTP, which is file transfer protocol, So I will write the full form inside this title attribute, and inside the tags I will write the short form. When I hit save, you see we get this text with the dotted underline, and when I hover over it, we get this title which shows us the full form of this particular abbreviation. Now it can also be achieved using this paragraph tag. When I hover, you see I still get this full form of the abbreviation, but the sole purpose of using this abbreviation tag is that the search engine will know whenever the web crawlers are searching for particular thing, it will know that this particular thing written inside the abbr tag is a particular abbreviation, and it will know when to suggest this particular thing to the user. But if you write it inside a p tag, this will the html will consider it as any other normal text. So the sole purpose of using this tag is for seo. And as I told you, the other three tags also which we will talk about are only for seo, and it won't have any effect on your styling part. Now let's see the next tag which is for seo purpose. So this defn tag stands for definition. It is a very simple thing. Inside this, whatever you write will be taken as a definition of a particular thing, and it won't be considered as a normal text, but it will be specifically considered as a particular definition to a particular thing. So as I told you, it is only for SEO purpose. Let's see if we are defining any particular thing. I will just have some dummy text inside it. So this particular text will be used as definition, and as you see, this thing is highlighted by putting it in italics, which means that it is a definition. This is the general way of how HTML treats this defn tag. Now let's move on to our third tag for the SEO purpose. So this time tag, as the name suggests, it is nothing but for specifying the time. I use the time tag, and whatever time I write inside this, it will be displayed as any normal text, but it will be very clear to the browser that this particular thing is a time period for something. So this is a very good thing if you want to enhance small things and make your website rank higher. So as I told you, these SEO tags are not very major SEO tags. The major ones are the meta, title, description, keywords, other things, but these are very small things which you can do to make your SEO better, which a lot of people ignore but should use them. Now let's move on to our last tag of the video and the last tag of the SEO part as well. So this address tag, again, as the name suggests, it is used for specifying address of anything. You can simply use this tag to write any address. I will just have some dummy text inside here. As you see, it is also displayed in italics, and it specifies the browser that this is a particular address to anything. Now if a user searches for this address in Google or any other browser, then there are higher chances that the browser will suggest this particular thing. Instead, if you write this inside this paragraph tag, this will have a same result as address tag, but as I told you, it will have an effect on your SEO, and the browser won't pay much attention to it, as it is not it will not consider it as an address, but it will just consider it as any normal text. So this is all about these kinds of tags. If you want more videos on tags which are very rare and you think you should learn about them, then drop a comments down below in the comments box, and I will definitely create another video on this particular topic. And as I told, you can go down to the description box for the source code. I have commented down every particular tag which I talked about, and you can also visit my CodePen web for other projects which I have done on CSS and JavaScript. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram, because I post source codes of whatever tutorial I am creating before the video is even published. So if you want the code before, then follow me on Instagram, and if you want the complete tutorial, then don't forget to subscribe to the channel. And thank you for watching.